I saw you had some comments about, the Niners not have your old team, of course, in San Francisco, not having taken Mac Jones and instead having taken Trey Lance. And I want to make sure it's clear. You said it's nothing against Lance, but you're just very impressed with what we're seeing from the New England quarterback. What are we seeing right now in Mac Jones somewhat quietly in New England?
No, I didn't think, I hadn't seen Trey play, so it really wasn't anything about Trey as much as it was about a quarterback I thought fit the system and that had success in college and might just give him a great opportunity to have, come into a system that's, I won't say closer because I don't know exactly what Alabama, but was more of a fit for his type of quarterback than for Trey. Nothing against Trey, very talented young man, it was kind of misconstrued a little bit because I really, I think he's got a great chance to play in the NFL. I just thought back then when they were coming out, I thought a pocket guy was a little bit more fit for Kyle's offense.
That's interesting because, like, all the rage now is to have, or certainly back around the time of the draft, it was the conversation we were having, that all the rage is to have the guy who can make plays with his legs and all that kind of thing. At the end of the day, how important an attribute do you think that is in a quarterback in pro football in 2021?
Well, I think mobility, although Tom Brady has proven the opposite, that, I think mobility is a big plus for you. But you don't have to be a tremendous runner. You just have to be able to be mobile and move, and he can move in the pocket and he can make plays with his legs. Is he going to outrun a lot of people? Not like Trey will outrun him, but I think mobility is good. But as long as you're not a run first person, I think run first is will get you in trouble.
What do you mean by that? So you should get in trouble, like the idea of that your first instinct has to be to try and yeah.
No, you take away from the offense because the offense typically are built around drop back pass. It doesn't happen like that all the time. A lot of times you have to move and make plays on the run, and both guys can do that. But if they have a foot race, Mac's going to lose, I would imagine. But you still can go back and find plays where he's made runs and with his legs, and it's not that I wasn't the fastest ever, but you can get out of trouble and you can pick up some yards, and that helps the team. If obviously being a great runner also can help the team, but I think when you start using your legs first, and when you're dropping back to pass, sometimes they make the quarterback run. It's a different story, but when it's a pass play, if you're thinking run first, I think that's where you can get into trouble offensively, not just as a quarterback, but you start putting your offense in a different position than what the plan is from the sideline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Joe Montana may have just scrambled to his right on the most famous pass in the history of pro football that Dwight Clark caught in the end zone in the NFC Championship game. So mobility was a box that was checked. Joe Montana with us here. Let me go to something else I'm interested in. Literally any minute now, Odell Beckham Jr. is going to sign with a new team. And, we think he's going to play with one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. But if a guy comes in week 9, week 10, how realistically, Joe, how long does it take before a quarterback and a wide receiver can get themselves to a place where whatever chemistry is necessary, whatever understanding of each other is necessary, where he can really be a major factor in their offense? How long realistically does that take?
Well, I think the first thing that will happen is they'll spend a lot of time together wherever he ends up, the quarterback and he, to try to find ways so you can really understand his body movement, and that's really where a lot of it comes from. But then you also have to see him in practice where he is making decisions, because a lot of these routes, you're making decisions on, do I run, do I stop, in the zone, in the hole, can I read a defense, how well can he do that? And usually I would think they would do is they would keep his routes pretty basic in the beginning and not give him a lot of options to off of a route. Will they put him in the position where he's the hot guy a lot of times? He's seen that a lot. He probably, yeah, it just depends. Sometimes it clicks right away, and other times some guys are just a little bit more difficult to understand and move. And when I got to Kansas City, getting used to those two guys and those line widers, JJ and Willie, they were fast, and they would. I mean, I had to get the ball out of my hand early. You had to start. They were different reads. And it took a while for us to work together, even through a training camp and even into the first game, so that where we understood each other. Like I told Willie, I said, okay, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get this chance, and if you see that safety leave the middle, and even if I get a blitz, you're going to the post. Just know the ball's going to be in the air. And sure enough, the first time it happens, he drops it in the end zone. I just didn't think it was coming. I said, they told you it was coming. But you know what?
Yeah.
But the next time, and he was down, and I'm going, don't be down. You're going to get more chances. But so don't give up on that. We're just getting started. And then in the same game, next thing you know, we have a different chance to do something else where he makes a read, makes a great play, and everything's off and running. And then it's just getting an understanding of each other, and that takes some time.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.